All right. Hi, my name is Frank Becker, and here's my proposal for the redesign site. All right, so some of my kind of main priorities for the site were to make sure that there's more walking space, as well as to make sure that all of the usable space was ADA accessible. And so that started with just increasing the width of the sidewalk, which would prevent the transition from the edge of the site where the sidewalk is much wider to this site to be less of a drastic change. And then I kind of established that the elevated field above the sidewalk was kind of like the main unusable space where I could kind of put kind of student workspaces, just kind of like tables to be able to work up there. And so I needed to make sure that that space was accessible. So I added in a ramp that was an ADA kind of approved slope that would be able to access this space. And then I also made sure to have lights that would be motion sensor, and then also have a bike rack that includes a charging apparatus. Here are kind of like the pads that where I established that I would need to cut and fill portions to be able to kind of have a more manufactured landscape. And the cyan lines are the lines where I established the cut and fill profiles, which are shown here, where all of those profiles, some of them require cutting in and some require filling. And then here's kind of like the overall cut and fill profile, where it shows what needs to be of the pads based on their height and the surface height, how much total needs to be cut and filled. And those numbers ended up totaling to that I would need to overall cut 5.61 cubic yards of ground, and I would need to bring that or remove that from the site. So as long as I was as efficient as possible, that's around how much I would need to bring. And I ended up calculating or looking up online that a dump truck holds minimum 10 cubic yards of material. So this would be far more than enough to be able to hold all of the material, the excess material. And so that's around what I would be able to need. And I predicted that it would take maybe around 3 hours to be able to remove it and transport it away from the site. All right, here's kind of my design for the stormwater. And as you can see, the catchments are a bit more of a kind of geometric shape, but that's because I ended up including drains in the sides of the sidewalks, and in between the sidewalk cracks as well, that would prevent pooling up on the sidewalks. It would also lead to this treatment apparatus. So these kind of drains would be covered and would prevent kind of dirt from getting in as well. So the water would already be a bit cleaner, but then also the water would be retained, and then it could be reused, where I have it leading to a drinkable water fountain in the kind of main workspace. And then the rest of the space, I have 2 trees that were shown in earlier drawings that for the space below the sidewalk, those trees would be able to retain the water. And then here's just a view of what those drains would look like. Again, it has the grate above it that would keep the dirt and leaves out, and would be able to effectively lead to the treatment apparatus. And the sidewalk would be slightly sloped so that the water would be directed into this spot. So that is my kind of general design, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.